the question of what does base erosion and profit shifting do to developing countries, in particular, how many trillions of rand are being lost because of multinational gerrymandering. The problem is that all of these figures are inaccurate when you actually drill down. That's not to suggest that it's not happening and not happening in significant numbers. But the figures that the various NGO movements are banding around, if you take the trouble to look at their assumptions, cannot possibly be correct. So, that doesn't mean there isn't a problem, but that's what's been driving the Trade and Industry Portfolio Committee's inquiry. And so the question is, obviously it's an issue we have to deal with. Now, it is absolutely true that there is a lot of money there. I can't tell you how much, but I'll give you an illustration. In the year 2012, the SARS actually did do a serious attack on about 40 corporations, auditing them for the purposes of transfer pricing, and collected more than $1 billion additional rands. And that unquestionably indicates to me that there is clearly scope there. And we have to deal with it. There's no question about it. But how do you deal with that? It's very difficult because you've got to have a proper transfer pricing unit, and SARS are inadequate. SARS, I think, have 30 people, I think, in total, dealing with transfer pricing, where in the UK, you'll find that they've got 500. So we don't have enough people. We have recommended that they put far more people into that department and that the matter be dealt with properly. There's no question that that should happen. And that will unquestionably, in fact, bring in certainly more than $1 billion. I can't tell you how much, but certainly when you're thinking that we had to squeeze around for $5–6 billion on the fuel levy, if you can find $3 or $4 billion, which has been because of transfer pricing, manifestly that's worth pursuing. Now, one final point about this, not to put it out of perspective. When I talk to senior tax people in this country, as I do regularly, they say to me, you're dead right, there is a lot of funnies going on, but it's not with the big multinationals. And the reason why they say that is because the big multinationals now are under pressure from all other tax jurisdictions in which they are located. And the one thing I've learned from talking to the Australians, the English, and the American tax authorities, if you think our guys are unreasonable, trust me, they're in a different order. You don't want to tangle with those people. And so, when you're doing something wrong. So there is, whether that's correct or not, is not the point. The point is, clearly there is some funny business going on, and one has to deal with it. And I'm sincerely hoping that SARS will put more energy into that issue.